3, 2, 1, go. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, subscribers. Welcome to the Brainstorm podcast. My name is Rxan Smith. Get your umbrellas out because you're about to experience the brainstorm. Let's go. Hi guys, this was something that was recorded on the 12th of March. Alright, so we're going on almost a full 3 months ago. No, I'm sorry, fuck. We're going almost a 4 months ago. But I was, getting excited because, the big crash, the crypto market in January. Anyone that knows me, I've been preaching crypto. I bought a lot of cryptocurrency when Trump got elected. Kind of made me be able to retire before he even started his presidency. But that's when I learned from my two mistakes and started working harder than ever. Put that money that could have made me live off my interest away and kept it there. Because what my dream is to take it and build 3 houses in 3 countries and make more money. Half of that I'll live off the interest, and half of that I'll spend. This stuff is to keep roofs over my head. And if I don't have a successful, third chapter, then I'll just get a $3 million house, whatever. I'll get a fucking more likely $300,000 house, and I'll live off the interest of 2.7. It's the worst case. That's why I won't touch it, because I like that being the worst case. It makes for a lot of embarrassing moments when people don't believe me and shit, but again, I don't care. Today is the 27th of June. Cryptocurrency has crashed. This is when it started to go back up. It started to go back up in the first week of February. By March, I was waiting, man, it's just gonna explode. It was good, but it wasn't what it was the March before yet. Still hadn't even caught up. So in the last year, it was still down. But that's because I was excited because I saw these altcoins, all the gaming tokens, the ones that exist because of NFTs. And I was just starting to understand NFTs. I never really understood them. I want to say that right now. I tried my best to explain them, and I understood a little bit, but I never understood how it would actually work. And when I saw what they went for and what you got for it, I was like, oh man, this is more of those young millennials and fucking Gen Z, Gen Y, whatever they're called. I call them Gen IDIOT. So here's the thing, so the NFTs, they created the altcoins to not just be things to transfer, Ethereum, Bitcoin, Litecoin, different speeds, and use the different energy. They were just it was nothing. It was it was the thing that people didn't understand Bitcoin used to say about crypto in general. You're buying something that's worth nothing, it's a fake product. It's but then what do you call a dollar bill or $100 bill? It's a piece of paper. It used to be backed by gold, silver. Now it's backed by faith in our government. Why don't you just back it by Hitler loving loving Jewish people? Because I buy faith in the United States government about as much as I buy Hitler secretly loved the Jews. So, but the thing is that my crew that I talked to, that was always on point with me. I kind of was the leader, but the people that were on our level with crypto as early as we were. First of all, we all started by using to buy drugs on the dark web. We would talk about it becoming like a stock, like a joke. And then when we realized that it was going up and up and up, and then it would crash, and it would shoot back up. we started to just like look at what would make it when it would go through these little crashes, and it was always like some like natural disaster, some war, some fucking riots, instability in the world, faith in the fucking government goes down, right? Value of the dollar goes down. Now something else can go up, but I got it. And then these NFTs came out, and like people kept trying to say, I never understood what they were saying. Not like saying I didn't understand why it wasn't gonna make money, because I didn't think it'd make money. I just didn't understand what it meant, and I didn't admit it. Like I tried to like get into like it, but like I could never pick one, and I tried to make one, and it didn't sell, and I was like, no, it only took me 30 fucking minutes. And then one sells for fucking $2,000. That's literally the same thing. It's like a picture of a dog that you use an app to turn it into a painting, and it has like a sideways hat on. I just didn't get it, and I'm here saying now, before that's why I unpublished the episode, because I'm adding this after the intro. I don't know what's gonna happen. If you put a gun to my head, I'd say, look, what's gonna happen is the government saw that this was getting ready for third year in a row, the April, March, April, May, explosion, and then followed by the September, October, November explosion, and then Biden signed that bill in where he gets to look into where everyone got the money to buy them, and he scared some people, and I could see us blaming COVID on China and saying, like, look, any of the 20 trillion we owe you, because we only had 4 to 6 circulated for like 50 years, like now we have 27. We got because we're America, we have the military. It hasn't imploded yet, but we're in implode mode. You guys were always there. You became the strongest economy in the world for a few years by building us junk. The food camera and fuck machines. I mean the iPhones. That's what you guys use it for. You take pictures of your food and your butts and your bodies, and your bodies never look as good as they do in the picture. And everything you take in your life never is as good as it looks. And then you fucking use the apps to go on dates because you don't even have the balls to talk to somebody. I fucked at least 3 10s in Denver that are 10s. They'd be like 11s. And the hardest one to fuck probably took me 3 minutes to get her smiling and give me a number. And I never ever I'm not a one night stand guy. I take girls out. I respect them, and I try to get to know them, and because everything about me is about showing I'm different. In the NFT thing, I was different, but I didn't ever praise it. I never would give anyone advice on it. My opinion now is that the government and maybe a little bit what I did with the Indians, because they were going to make an NFT that was worth literally, more than the entire United States, Fed has, even if you count their debt as real money. And then half of what's in the crypto market. It was that much money. Like I said, richest country in the world they were going to be. Alright guys, Anchor.fm, my home podcast platform, my favorite of all of them, by far. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's by Spotify. It's their podcast wing. It has everything you need in one place. Let me explain. It has all the tools you need to record and edit the podcast right from your phone or your computer. There's so much you'll see on YouTube about needing this microphone, that microphone. No, Anchor has it all right in the app. I'm telling you, the quality that it can pick up in your voice right from a normal phone, it's unmatched. No app I can download can record with the precision of Anchor. And when you're hosting on Anchor, you can describe your podcast on listening platforms like Spotify, Apple, Google, Radio Host, even more. It's just everything you need to make a podcast, guys. It's all in one place. It's the best. And guess what?
It's completely free. Download the Anchor app today or go to anchor.fm to get started. Once again, anchor.fm, that's ANCHOR.FM to get started. Three, two, one, go.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Rxan Smith, and welcome to the Rxan Smith podcast. Brainstorm. This is going to be one of my favorite episodes. I am going to announce now that I am going to try as hard as I can in every episode to not take a side. I feel very strongly about this side, but it's not easy. My main objective is to educate people and make them make their own opinions. So I cannot do what cable news does and educate people by beating what I feel that I've researched to be the truth into their head. I'm going to present the facts. Cryptocurrency. That's our topic today, alright? So, there's some issues with this. Here's what you'll hear. Cryptocurrency is valueless. It has no value. Money was backed by gold or silver, but it is not anymore. Cryptocurrency was never meant to be invested, but it goes up higher than stocks. It's also much more volatile by nature, but stocks are, they are shares in a company that makes something. Cryptocurrency, to this point, has not been. They are just people putting, money into something, and it's decentralized. There is no bank. However, it begs to ask the question, what is anything worth? It's worth whatever someone's willing to pay for it. If you want to get very basic. The other issue that you will hear is that it is the only way that the wealth gap will be closed, and that is certainly true as far as I can see, not because crypto's so great, because people like me invested $4,000 in it, $400,000. COVID hits, people that own real estate that have all the money all of a sudden aren't bringing in the big bucks anymore because people are working from home, and they're going to hold on to their stocks because that's what they know. So there's a chance, and people that own it are largely younger and risk takers, and the thing is that they, unlike stocks, are not corrupted by CEOs and people that work for the stock, for the corporation. There's the environmental factor. Cryptocurrency is mining. It is blockchain, data mining, farming, all things that are very technical terms, but basically it is how you, when a trade is completed, how you turn it into money. And that takes a lot of power, especially since 80% of it's done in China, and they use coal. Cryptocurrency, in fact, I read there's about 50 countries in the world that don't use as much power as cryptocurrency uses to be mined. And like I said, there are ways around that, but currently that is true. And the last factor could collapse, most certainly, if it does succeed, it would collapse the US dollar. Is that a bad thing? Because the one thing I never understood in economics is, what is the US dollar? It used to be backed by gold, then by silver, now it's backed by faith in the government, which no one has. With COVID, it kind of seems like the perfect storm for a new currency, but it's volatile. And I've noticed a pattern. The election year, it jumps. The year after election, it doesn't jump until later, where it stays the same. And then it jumps every April and October. Or by every April and October, it slowly climbs. Nothing that is going to be an investment will be that consistent, so that's not going to last forever. I bought
when Trump, because of what I learned in economics, I remember asking my teacher, well, if the gold standard, silver standard are gone, then what is this paper that we're spending? He said, well, it's backed in the faith of the American government. So, it's very simple. Trump was elected. I had filed an extended tax return in 2016. I got my money back right as he was elected. I got my return, and it was about $4,000. So I put it all in crypto because I said, well, Trump is elected. People already seemed, it was a shock, first of all, if everyone remembers, but people already were seeming to lose faith in the government. So I bought it, and by that April, I bought 5, and by that April it was worth 4,000. It was 3,800, 4,000, and I bought the 5 coins. That's how much it cost. I think it was worth about $100,000. And in 2020, when Biden ran against Trump, I bought 1 for 15,000, and the portfolio had 6 in there in 2021 in April, which was the high point. And guys, it was worth at that point $402,000. I invested 4,000 and 15,000, pretty much 20,000 to 400,000 in exactly 4 years and 6 months. Try to find a return on investment like that, and it had done it, consistently every presidential election. It was just never intended for this. So let's start with the first topic. Let's start with the fact that it is valueless because it represents nothing. Let's compare it to stocks as an investment and to our currency as a form of currency. Alright guys, let me start here. I went with the cryptocurrency's biggest criticism, besides the environment, which is largely because Chinese are the people that do the data, the blockchain and the data mining the most, crypto mining, and they use coal. So 70% of it is done in a coal burning region. It's not so much that they are bad for the environment, it's that the people who are mining them currently are. We can certainly fix that. NFTs, non-fungible tokens, they will confuse everybody. You'll see these paintings that you can print off the internet. The famous one in New York sold for $70 million, and it was just it looked like a carpet. But what people don't understand is it has a blockchain, which is how crypto is moved, built into it, and it is giving a value to the coin, cryptocurrency that is used to buy it. And furthermore, certain cryptocurrencies are used to buy certain NFTs, and Facebook bought Metaverse, and there are, so in the Metaverse, and then the Axis Infinity is the Axis Infinity game, that is the token you use. So what they're doing is they're basically they are okay, like I said, what do you guys do? You're just putting money in, it's getting worth more. Correct, like you do in the stocks. And yes, but we make cars and we make shirts, right? We make NFTs. What are they? Well, people noticed that after COVID, people were not moving back into the buildings that they once were rented out to rich people. Once that rich people rented out. So they said people were buying luxury items as often because they couldn't go out. So there was this clout in the digital world. So you could drive a Ferrari, picture of a Ferrari, and a non-fungible token, and pay for it with crypto. And you're protecting your cryptocurrency investment, number one. That is the big reason that people, I think, made these, because they were sick of hearing people say they're backed by nothing, and somebody just said, well, let's back them by something. Because faith in the government is all other currencies backed by anyway. No one backs it by gold anymore. So let's back it by pictures. It's like a mockery. However, the owner of the New York Knicks, the New York Yankees, what do they own? They own the stadium. They don't own the players. They own contracts. So if, Giancarlo Stanton and Aaron Judge on the Yankees have an NFT, and it sells for twice the amount of their contract, and they started the NFT, it brings up some issues. Like, look, yes, it's not a baseball team. However, this person who bought the NFT can technically own me because they bought me out of my contract. And that is a very exaggerated version, because I'm sure that the contract keeps them locked. But
let's take a real quick time to get paid. I'll be right back. Finish this up. Get into NFTs.
It's what's to stop athletes from going forward by saying, look, I'm going to go out for free agency. The city that bids the most, I'm going to put my NFT out there. The team will put their high bid. The fans will all bid. And we will have, a whole new way of looking at things. And that is real value, because those superstar athletes actually attract investors, and they make money. That's why they make the millions now. Imagine that doubling. And when cryptocurrency is needed to buy it, then it legitimizes that also. Now, the stock market also went up record highs during COVID, but that was predictable because people had nothing. They're getting a lot of money. They had nothing to do to spend. They were basically, what was going up was Amazon and tech stocks, online gaming, things like that. And gaming, it wasn't like when I was a child, when you bought the game, it was yours. Now, with games, you have to be prepared to keep paying. And NFTs could easily take a part of that. Like I said, who owns the Knicks? What do they really own? Who owns that skyscraper? What do they really own? They have 99-year ground leases. And they know that people always need a place to work. Well, when that changes, are the richest people in the world going to become in debt? Going to go into debt? What if someone makes an NFT for a public stock? I mean, it hasn't happened yet. I don't know if it could. But the thing is that it has to run the test of time, and we have to see if this, will work. You can easily debunk it and legitimize it, very, very easily. But the thing that makes this whole entire thing feasible to me is that you can buy this NFT, and let's say you buy it, you build it, and you get your building that you usually would rent. You take 5 years off of renting $100,000 a month building, and you save that money, So you have $6 million banked up. You build your own building, and you put it on top of the NFT that you bought. The NFT is worth just as much as a building, let's say. Now your building's worth double. Has to be. And if you then pay all of your employees in a cryptocurrency, there certainly is a way that what Facebook did with Metaverse. If I had to invest in, and some of the crypto experts think it's too easy, but Facebook's just so big. If I had to, if I had to invest in one thing, I would invest in decentralized, the Mana, MANA, Sandbox. It's another one. If I had to long term, because I watched them this year after the big spike in end of October, early November, when everything went down. They were still going up. When the crash hit in January, Mana was the only one that was profitable. It was highly profitable. I think it was 5,400 on the year, and a couple hundred in January to February when everything else was down a couple hundred. Um, it just looks to me like it's the only way the wealth gap can be closed. Property's becoming too expensive. The mindset of the younger generation is that they got screwed, and they have this advantage. They know computers, and the people that are resisting crypto are basically their big argument. It's what is it? It's a Ponzi scheme. It's backed by nothing. Well, what makes a stock price go up down? Did you ever hear of speculation? Do you see what happened to Facebook when the whistleblower came and said they were talking about unethical things? The stock plummeted 38%. Talk made the value go down. What is more speculative and not real than that? I'm just saying that cannot happen with cryptocurrency unless it's a meme coin, a coin that will go up and down based on speculation. It's like they took the stock market and took everything imperfect out of it and made it pure. So who knows? Right now, cryptocurrency is back where it was a year ago, and this is right when it made its surge. But it should have been growing by now, but like I said, in the 2022 year, not the year after Trump got elected, the one, so you're following the year that Trump, how do you say, 2022, he was elected in 2020, 2021, it skyrocketed 2022, it started to go up in June, and then it did its normal thing, and then it went back to this pattern in 2023. It had a big October and April 20. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys. Forgive my math. 2016 to 2018 is when the 2016, 2017 was the big jump. 2017 to 2018, which is what we're in now, his second year of the term. That's when we saw what we're seeing now, stagnant. But at least it's consistent. And if it goes back up again, which is any day now, and it shows some signs, they say 46, it says around 40. If it has a big rally this weekend, or this week, and hits 46 by next weekend, it's going to go up to 75. There wasn't many people that predicted it would stay under 100,000. So I would still say for this year, it's the thing to buy. Triple your money by the end of the year. But, it's, the problem is that people are afraid, and I would seriously be more afraid of having my money in stocks because, or all stocks. I would pull my money out of it, look what I made in my investment. I put in $2,000. I made $400,000, and then it's a low point. It's $240,000. I mean, that's 1,200 to 2,000%. You're not going to make that on stock, so at least take half out. Make that, because nothing hurts worse. Trust me, I've done it. When I bought that one coin last year from Biden, I was like, why didn't I just take out, a loan and buy 4 more like I did the last presidential election? I knew it was going to happen. And, I analyze the numbers so hard that I can pretty much predict things as they happen. So, guys, I would have talked about this a lot. I'm going to make it crypto Saturday mornings. Because Mondays it goes up a lot. Saturday night it's relatively stable. Sunday moves. So crypto Saturdays around this time I'm gonna give a little talk. But NFTs are gonna be the thing that the skeptical people are saying crypto isn't backed by anything. Well, there's certain NFTs that can only buy certain can only be bought with certain cryptos. It's creating a market, just like the stock did. You know, tires for cars. Well, these Corvettes can only use these tires, right? They're mimicking it, except there's no CEO, and the CEO is not usually the majority holder. So it's interesting, guys. I would, if I was an investor, if I were to give you my advice, I would put 60% of my money in crypto and put 40% in stocks. And with the 40% in stocks, I would go very conservative, but with 30%, and then with 10%, I would go speculative, like small businesses, medium businesses, maybe 7%, 6% medium, 4% small. And then with the other 30, I would do, to be honest, I know some people hate to hear this, I would do 17 to 20% foreign companies and 10 to 13% American Fortune 500 companies. Because the thing is that America is going to have to pay for what it did in COVID. And it's going to get ugly. The market's going to crash. And the thing is that, in closing, what I will say is when the market crashes, rich people in the past have bought real estate because that's the first thing to go. Market crashes this time, people already don't have real estate. They already don't have credit from the 0809 crash. So rich people don't want the real estate. They want to strategically bankrupt. Government's not going to let that happen because the rich people hold all the assets and all the money. So I think that they will have to get their money back, invest in crypto. And that means everyone that's in it now, ma'am, do you know what it would be like if, Zuckerberg put 120 billion in Cuba and they all put half their money in crypto? Oh my goodness. I mean, you are in now, you will be set for life. And what it'll do is it'll reverse it. But not reverse it like they're poor and you're rich. It'll close the wealth gap and we'll all be more close to being equal, which is really the problem. The problem is that there should have been a maximum net worth. We fight over minimum wage. Federal minimum wage is $7.35 an hour, guys. That is like $1,100 a month. You can't live on that. I mean, it's ridiculous, and politicians argue over it. The city I live in has a minimum wage double what the federal minimum wage is. These have gotten out of control. They're all signs that the bubble's going to burst, and this time, stimulus, what are we going to do? More? We just did it for COVID. We just paid out more subsidies for COVID than we did with welfare, Social Security, and Medicaid, Medicare in the last 30 years, in 2 years. Food stamps, welfare, unemployment. In the last 2 years, we paid out more than we did in 30-something years. And we put out more money in the last 3 years as we did ever. 20 trill. Went up from 7 trill to 27 trill is their debt. That's going to have to be dealt with, and I think the only way we can deal with it is like a street mentality. China calls in the debt. No, we're not paying you. You know why? Because we have a military. We're going to attack you. Well, it was never intended to be like that. And by the way, Russia, communist, China, communist, North Korea, communist. They all have one thing in common. They hate America, and they have another thing in common. They are nuclear-capable countries with strong militaries. Oh wait, another thing. They all invest in crypto heavily. And they are more than us collectively by about 4 times. So, I don't know. I definitely would not put all my money into currency because crypto isn't backed by anything. Currency hasn't been backed by anything for my whole life. It's paper. and stocks go up and down because of what people say, and it's just earning 7% with a good broker every 10 years. That's if you have crypto, if you had Bitcoin, you would never have earned less than 150% every 10 years. Even if you go from the infancy when it wasn't gaining a lot, the last 10 years you're earning thousands of percent higher, every 10 years. I mean, last year I earned 400%, and from when Trump got elected, I told you I earned 2,000%, and that was 5 years. So if it goes like that, another 5 years, I'll get 4,000% return. And your money's supposed to double every 10 years. Stocks, 4,000. It means if I put in $1, it turns into 4,000. If I put in $1,000, you know what that means, guys? It's $4 million for 4,000. I mean, it's worth the lottery ticket. That's for sure. I will keep you posted on this, and I will be as objective as I can. But right now, my vote is to diversify the portfolio. There's a lot of resources out there. Even Cash App, you can buy crypto and stock. Buy the when the market opens on Monday, look for an article that says stocks to buy this week, and then type them in Cash App. You'll see they say don't buy, moderate buy, to heavy buy. Buy the heavy buy ones and let them sit there for a week or however long it tells you for the month, and then put the rest in Bitcoin. That's what I'm going to say right now. Put 2/3 of Bitcoin in Ethereum, maybe split it, and then put your other third in altcoins that are like safe, like Mana and Sandbox. Luna, Terra Luna is another big one. It's going up. Avalanche is going up, and that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna close the show out with telling you what I like, as far as my picks for the next. I've had an account with $2,000 in it with Luna, Luna, Terra Luna, I believe it's called. 700 out of my 2,000 is that. In the last month, it's gone up 70%. Bitcoin has gone down 7%. I've had another one, Rune, Rune. That is my second. It's $332 in the last month. It's gone up 52%. Uma, 30%. Atom, which is Cosmos, that's up, down, up, down, up, down. But I like it. I like Polygon, Atom. But everything else is pretty much down in the last month, and it's weird. In the last week, you can see Rune really shot up there, and Luna kind of evened out. So guys, you'll see last week Luna is up 30%. Luna is only up 1%. Doesn't mean you take all your money and put it in Rune. That's usually the opposite. You buy low, sell high. Litecoin, Polkadot had a good week. And Polkadot actually is one of my favorites because it's been steady for a very long time. So I would say the top 3 to go with this week. Hold me to this, guys. This week, top 3 to go with will be, let me think, give me a minute here, I'm doing it on the fly. I think it will be Solana, right, which is the faster and cheaper version of Ethereum. So Solana will be one of them. I think that Sandbox is going to come back in a big way, and I also think that, oh man, I think that, Bitcoin, Litecoin, no, actually Polkadot. So Polkadot, Solana, and what did I say was the other one? I'm sorry, guys. Long night. Polkadot, Solana, and let's try spell. There's another one. Axis Infinity spell. I'm going to, wing it type stock. So, all right, guys.
This has been an R. Smith production. Don't forget, you can put the umbrellas away. And some of you can put them up your ass and open them. Good night. Alright, I'm going to publish the rest of the show and, listen to what it's going to be interesting to listen to what my outlook was on crypto 4 months ago. So, it's, like I said, I'm not afraid to eat crow. I could be wrong, and I would be shocked if I was wrong on this one, because it might be one of the things I get into the most, but, I'm learning that the government doesn't want something to happen, especially something like that, where the richest country in the world would have me as their advisor, and it would be in the Hamptons, across on the other side, the poor side, where the houses cost 10 instead of 20 mil. They really don't want that to happen, and they're not going to let it. And domestically, they can pull that shit off. We'll see how much longer we can be the superpower of the world. This might be the thing that ends it. When we tell China, hey, you caused COVID, so that 20 trillion we ran up with those stimulus and unemployment, and PPP loans, you're paying for it. And we send them back into 1980 when they're poor as shit buying our recycled goods. But by the way, we just let float in the water now. No one knows. So don't bother recycling. You're just filling a boat in the middle of the water. They call it Trash Island. So, yeah. Let's get on with the show. See how I felt 4 months ago. And you hear the uncertainty in my voice now. If you could comment and tell me what your conclusion is, you know me, you can hear my emotion, I wear it on my sleeve. What do I really think? Because don't forget, the idea is to buy low and sell high. So if the next presidential election goes up by 8, you can buy it for 15. That's what this is when Biden ran. It didn't go up by 8, but it went up by 4 then, but it was 15. It's not that far from it now. But it's very simple. People all pull their money out. It's not worth shit. So they have to trust it. So I guess they said, I'm going to document here. Someone's going to figure a way to trust it, but we're not going to do it first. Some other country will. They'll make it their currency. And then it'll be a fucking domino effect. And we drew the legislation first, like always, so... Of course, we're always going to think of a good idea and not use it, and let everyone else use it. Guys, instead of kneeling for the national anthem, why don't you do fucking handstands? Nothing against the soldiers, just piss off the fuck government. Alright, let's get to the show. And guys, if we fight China, go heavy on the sniper rifles, because I bet you they can't see very well. Not as good as us.